This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, Albert Lorenzo, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, and Kristen Gilreath. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Jody Roach and James Hubbard to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We really couldn't do this without you. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 30 and 31 of The Path of Daggers. We did it. We finished it. We're done the book.
Yeah, we did it. Awesome. So chapter 30 is beginnings, and chapter 31, if we want to call it a chapter.
The last chapter.
Yeah, it's called After.
After.
Yes.
It's the rumor mill.
It is. And it could have been included in like the last half a page or whatever.
Yeah.
That's okay. It gets its own chapter. That's fine.
It's fine.
But hey, we're done. The Path of Daggers.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
I know.
Shortest book, but you know.
We took our time with it, and I think we did it justice. I'm surprised. People have told me that this is part of the slog, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm finished the book, and I don't consider it sloggy, so...
I'm happy that you're not feeling it,
yeah.
So that's good. And honestly, I took a look at the next book, but no spoilers. Ooh. It's a good one, though.
Ooh.
I like it. Okay. Anyways, we got to get through this, because we got a couple things to talk about before we get there.
Okay.
So let's do this fun fact, as is tradition now.
Okay.
And I hope you're prepared.
Yeah.
It's all about the chapter icons.
Chapter icons!
Let's break it down for what we saw in this wonderful, wonderful book.
Sure.
So, okay, we got to go over the most popular chapter icons that we saw this book.
Yep.
Got to pick your brain, see if you remember. What do you think came in number one spot for the most occurring chapter icon?
I would have to say the wheel and snake.
Interesting. Why do you say that?
Because I counted, and there are 5.
Whoa, cheater.
Whoa!
Cheater. No.
Whoa.
I've
been telling you all along. I studied. I did it.
That.
I tricked you. I did it.
Terrible. You're not supposed to study. It's supposed to be a guessing game.
I've been telling you. I probably told you like 5 separate times. I'm like, ooh, I'm studying.
No.
Like that. But I am. I did it.
Way less fun. I might as well just rattle it off then.
You might as well. Except I was going to do this whole thing where I like played dumb. But I was like, that's stupid.
You would never be able to do that. I wouldn't believe that. Okay, so yeah.
I think I could have. I just
could have
didn't
tried.
Want to.
No. So wheel and snake, 5 occurrences.
Yeah, well, you know what would be interesting? Because I had just a notes thing going on my phone, and every time I read a chapter, I just like ticked one off.
Yeah.
Like I didn't go back and do it all at the end. So like I might have missed one or skipped one. So it'd be interesting to see if I do have the same numbers as you have.
So yeah, it's kind of funny too, because the wheel and snake usually has like a top spot with the Flame of Tarvalon.
Yeah, okay.
But coming in at number 2, what is the number 2 spot taker?
It is the dragon.
Yeah, with 4 occurrences.
Number 4, yeah.
There you go.
4.
And we did see a lot around this book too.
Yes, so that makes sense. I probably would have guessed that too.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And now we have a 3-way tie for 3rd place.
3-way?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, I only have 2 in 3rd place.
Interesting. Okay, what do you have?
I have Forsnaken.
Yep.
And the wolf at 3 apiece.
Yes, and the lion of Andor came in at 3 occurrences as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't write that down. I bet it's in my notes. Now I'm curious. Oh, yes, Andor lion. See, I still messed up somewhere along the way.
You took the note, you just didn't read it.
I just didn't transfer it to these notes.
Yeah. Well, it counts. And then we also have a 3-way tie for 4th place.
Yes, we do. Yeah, that I have.
2 occurrences each.
Oh, hold on. 3-way tie for 4th place?
Yeah.
Because I have 4-way tie for 4th place.
Because you missed one with the lion.
No.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So I have Dark Friends at 2. Dark Friend.
Yeah, the 2 faces, the black and white face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shan Chen, helmet.
Yep.
Dragon's Fang.
Interesting.
And Aes Sedai symbol at 2 apiece.
Oh yeah, I must have told that wrong too.
Ooh, look at us go.
Yeah,
See, now
okay,
I'm correcting you. See, we're just taking you at face value when
oh my
really...
goodness.
Uh-oh. Let's go back and fact check every time we've ever done this.
No kidding. Oh, you know what? That is interesting because I do have in my second part of the notes that Dragon's Fang comes up twice.
Ah.
Yeah, okay. All right, we're getting there.
Okay.
So 4-way tie.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And everything else was like a one-off. There's a few of those, but no new symbols this
I
book.
was going to say, nothing new.
Nothing new.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna show off that I have this sea folk symbol. We have 1. The bull. We had 1. 5 dice. Even though we don't see Matt.
Yeah.
We hear about him pulling people in his direction.
That's 2.
And then we have the Adam, the Kyrian sun, and then the spears.
Awesome.
All with 1.
Yeah,
now that was much less fun, and I'm not going to keep track next time, and I'm just going to see if I can remember.
Yeah,
I
that
like
was
guessing.
a lot less. Yeah. I could have told you that.
I
But
know.
anyways. Okay, so also a couple little side notes here. There were previously, last book, we talked about how there's only 3 symbols that had shown up in books 1 to 7, and that was the Wheel and Snake, the Flame of Tarvalon, and then the Sunburst. And unfortunately, the Sunburst doesn't show up this book.
No,
so now
not unfortunately. We're fine with it. We don't need to see.
Well, I mean, the only 2 symbols now that have showed up in every book are the Wheel and Snake and the Flame of Tarvalon.
Oh.
So the best part is that for the overall books 1 to 8 chapter icons, the Flame of Tarvalon previously was in first place, but the Wheel and Snake took the lead this book.
Yeah, with
so it's
5.
back on top. Yep.
Very pattern heavy book.
And then
I
the
suppose.
dragon symbol and the 5 dice got bumped up there
Mm.
because of their occurrences to second place there. So
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Cool.
So time to move on. Let's finish this book.
Okay. Well, last time we were here, someone or something attacked the Kyrianin Sun Palace.
Okay.
And it was probably definitely an attack on Rand.
Yeah, and like a couple of people.
Yeah.
Not just someone, a bunch of
Someone's.
someones.
Yep. Uh-huh. Yep.
Okay.
Got it. Probably Forsaken, but we're not quite sure.
Well, maybe. Like, we saw the Asha Man.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
What's your point?
Well, you said the Forsaken attack.
Yeah.
Was the Asha Man were there.
Yes.
We saw them.
Uh-huh. And they're dark friend Ashamans
Okay.
who are being ordered by Forsaken.
Okay. Well, because
We
of the
got
beginning.
there, okay?
Yeah, sort of.
But you
Rand
think
was like,
that-
oh, it's Demandred or...
Oh, so we're supposed to just believe Taim at face value that these Ashaman just don't like Rand, so they tried to kill him?
Yeah, they're deserters. That's what he said. Why wouldn't you believe him? Anyways,
yes,
no
okay.
time for that.
Okay. I'm upset, though. A whole nother book and no ice cream cake.
Yeah. Okay.
Shoot.
Maybe something will happen
Can
in
we
the
just
next
get
book
an
about
ice cream
that.
cake anyway?
No. Not until we know for sure if you deserve ice cream cake.
It's going to be our daughter's birthday.
Nope.
Hey, if anyone's keeping track, it's about to be Lila's second birthday. Hey, everyone, remember when I was pregnant and we
Oh,
were doing
man.
this podcast?
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
I do.
Yep. Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I sip my wine.
Mhm.
That was a good time back then.
It was not.
Well, it was okay.
Yeah.
You know, I grew human.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's fine. Okay. Back to it. Where were we?
Oh. Perrin was in Gildan, becoming the new king of Gildan by, like, default somehow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Sure.
Yep. And he was setting off to find the prophet. Also, he just has more gays in that crew in his and Faile's service.
Yeah.
So
there
that's
we go.
happening over
Okay.
there. Now, chapter 30 is called Beginnings.
Mm.
Yeah. That's an interesting one. Interesting title for that.
Yeah. I mean, it's in my opinion, this is kind of like a big setup chapter for what's happening
Oh, absolutely.
going forward.
Like, I was going to say, if there wasn't a page at the back of this book that said the end of the 8th book of the Wheel of Time, or whatever it says,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know that this book ended.
Oh, I know, because
Like-
it's just like a huge cliffhanger.
Oh, there is almost next to nothing wrapped up. It's just gonna be a continuation of this story. If the pages didn't stop having words on them,
Yeah.
and altogether being in the book, then it would just keep going.
Yeah, no, I mean, I kind of feel like that's also a part of the reason why some people do consider this book a part of the slog, because, I mean, now that we're done book 8, we can kind of look at the entire span of it, and we don't end on any kind of, like, big battle. We don't end with any big plot lines wrapping up nicely.
No,
it's all just like,
no
Rand's in a
Forsaken
bad
battle.
spot, he just got attacked, he's on the run. Perrin and Faile are kind of in a, bit of
Pickle.
a mixed pickle, good way to put it now. So it's clearly like we're opening up the plot lines more. Nothing gets tied up nicely. And when you're waiting 2 years for the next book to come out,
Yeah.
it's
That's the
it's
problem.
tough.
Yeah.
It's definitely tough. And we
Yeah.
only have to wait like a week until we like finish our stuff and you can start. But
Yeah.
2 years on finishing on this note, it's hard.
Yes.
So I get it.
Yeah. Well, it's even hard for me. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
let's go, I guess.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, so beginnings, the chapter symbol is the wolf. And we enter in a Perrin perspective. And it took me a while to get into this one. For how short the chapter was.
Yeah.
It was slow moving for the first, 4 pages. But Perrin and his dozen companions are trudging along through the snow. And we get a bit of a head count on who is here right now.
Yeah, I just want to kind of make a note of this, just so we know who's with Perrin currently, and then who's with Faile, because we kind of have 3 groups now of Perrin camp, Faile, outing adventure, and then the remainder of the camp.
Okay.
So we can talk about who's actually...
Oh yeah, I forgot about the remainder.
Yeah, because there's a couple thousand people. It's not small.
Right.
But only a fraction are going to be gone from what it looks like.
Okay.
So with Perrin, we've got Nield and Grady, the 2 Ashaman.
Yeah.
We've got Balwer, the Spy Master. We know him.
Yeah.
We've got Adara.
No, just a secretary, Brett.
Right. Just a secretary. Just a secretary.
He knows a lot, though.
He does, which is weird for a secretary. But anyways, 2 wise ones. We've got 2 Aes Sedai and 3 warders. Then we've got Elias, who's come along, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. And Aram.
And Aram.
Yeah.
And Aram doesn't like Elias.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, interesting tidbit.
Yeah.
From Perrin's perspective.
Does Aram like anybody except for Perrin and Faile?
And his sword.
And his sword, right.
He likes the idea of fighting.
He does.
That's it.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so it's been about a month since they crossed the border into Amyrlin. So a bit of a timestamp.
Yeah, we do.
On that.
Yep.
The wise ones are still keeping the Aes Sedai in their place right now, and they're coming up on a town that has a small group of men watching them approach. Now, this is the Prophet's territory, but there's still groups of White Cloaks holding the country in different places.
Yeah.
And now I also had a question here that sort of gets answered later.
Okay.
Because last time we saw Amyrlin, or Amador.
Yeah, the capital.
The Seanchan were taking over.
Yeah.
And there's no real mention of that here.
No, and so we can kind of maybe infer a couple things from what's going on because it has been about a month. We've got a bit of a time lapse that we see also from Egwene's perspective, but we know that it's winter, so traveling is a lot harder. We know that the Seanchan just got their butts kicked, whether or not it was a win for Rand or not. They got really smacked down pretty hard in Abu Dar.
Yeah.
So,
and we don't know how that's affecting them in Amyrlin.
Exactly. We don't exactly know how the armies are shifting or moving now, or if they're retreating a little bit or what's going on. So it does seem like the White Cloaks aren't stamped out completely at all, but it does seem like their capital fell and probably hasn't been reclaimed. But whether or not that means the surrounding countryside, which is basically where Perrin is right now, it's all the little towns and hamlets and all that stuff.
Yeah,
the Prophet, the White Cloaks, Perrin, they're all kind of scattered still.
Yeah, we don't get much of an update on what happened with who went up north to deal with the Prophet. Valda?
Yeah, that was the big...
And someone else?
Asunawa. Yeah.
And they left.
They left with a huge faction of the White Cloaks.
And that's when the Seanchan came in.
Exactly.
But we don't get an update on where they are or how that went.
Yes.
At all.
Yeah, so we don't actually know if Massima has dealt with that yet, or if they've arrived, or if the White Cloaks plan changed.
We assume that yeah, that's true. But we assume that either it's been dealt with or their plans changed because that was over a month ago.
Yeah, so maybe once Amador got attacked, maybe they circled back, maybe plans got delayed a little bit, we don't know, but the White Cloaks are definitely still a thing, and they're somewhere.
Yeah, and at this point, that was actually probably closer to 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Just based on Morgaze's trajectory.
Yeah, yeah.
Because she had to escape, ride up all the way into Gildan, then get taken on by Faile and Perrin somewhere in Gildan.
Then they're wandering around.
And then they're wandering around, and then they cross into Amyrlin a month ago. So.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, it's tough. We need to see a White Cloak perspective to really figure out what's going on.
I guess so.
Yeah. Gotta wait for that. It's not yet.
I thought Massima might have said something, but no, he is wrapped up in his own stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Now, at this point, Perrin comments out loud that he was right to not bring her along, but he'll still pay for it. And Elias says, "Yep, but hey, I was totally right about that advice that I gave you, right?"
Yeah. The dealing with Faile and the Saldean women stuff.
Yep. Yeah. Yell at her.
Yeah, she wants that. And
yes. And it's funny
right.
because I was like, ooh, I don't know if he'll immediately take that advice or if he'll just like stumble upon it by accident when he yells at her and then she likes it.
Yeah.
But it seems like
it's been a progression though. It's
been good, even though Perrin can't understand it.
Yeah, like generally speaking, it seems like things are going okay.
Yeah.
And we get a confirmation from Faile's perspective too in a second that it's like going okay and Perrin's doing better. So hey,
yeah,
that's Elias's part to play. Here we go.
Yes, and Perrin told Faile this morning that she wasn't coming on this mission. He told her very firmly.
Yeah.
And she smelled even pleased.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
So I gotta dock a few marks though from Perrin, because at one point in this like thought process of how Perrin interprets everything, he thinks my nose never lies about like how people are feeling. Yep. But it's like, dude, half the time, if not like more, you get the interpretation wrong of what people are feeling, like of what's actually going on. Like, okay. Sure, maybe he can pick up on the smells that she's feeling.
Yeah.
But, like, Perrin's still generally wrong about a lot of things a lot of the time. He needs a touch more,
like, social intelligence.
Just, like, a little. Like, we got a little ways to go still.
He's not really good at, like, inferencing and figuring out why things are the way that they are.
It's like maybe you can tell that she's pleased, and maybe you think it's because you did this, but maybe it's for some other reason. No. Like, we don't actually know that for sure.
True. Okay. So now, at this point, the guards that are keeping watch of this town are watching Perrin and his crew approach, and they're the usual mix of, like, grubby prophet people.
Like, generally dirty and stuff. Not well kept,
And they don't make any moves to stop them from entering the town, and it is called Abila.
Yes, we actually heard about this town.
From Bulwer.
And Alejandra. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they both said that this is where the prophet was, and then that's when Perrin started thinking, seems like this Bulwer guy knows a bunch of stuff.
Know what he knows, yeah.
Yeah.
So Perrin's plan is to come meet with Missima with only a few people and scare him if he needs to, if that's even possible.
Yeah.
But it seems like a better plan than like going in, guns blazing.
Yeah, I respect it. I think it's
super violent right away.
Yeah, I think it's a good strategy to you might as well try. It's a decent strategy
considering Perrin has not come face to face with Missima yet.
Yeah,
he doesn't really know what he's up against.
And it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot to take that. Like, they're clearly going to be safe because they have Ashaman and Aes Sedai. Like,
and wise ones who can channel.
You're going to be fine against, like, Missima. Yeah. And we got to talk about that, too.
Right. We get a description of the town that they're in. And the streets are pretty jammed up with dirty people, and it's dirty, and in Perrin's opinion, it smells like dirt and fear.
Yeah, also a bunch of buildings are, like, literally pulled down because they're establishments that the prophet doesn't like. So.
Yeah, like places that sell alcohol.
No, don't do it.
So now Bulwer, turns out, has done a pretty good job of getting intel on this place, and Perrin thinks, he's really good at that for being just a secretary.
Yeah, good job, man.
At this point, Bulwer goes off by himself to do some more sleuthing.
Okay, yeah.
And then there is some more recap on what kind of guy Missima is with all his restrictions, but...
Generally bad.
So the crew rides up on this merchant's house or something where Missima's clearly staying, and Perrin announces, I've come with a message for the prophet from the Dragon Reborn. My name is Perrin Ibarra. The prophet knows me.
Yeah, this is kind of cool. And he's got to be really careful with the words he uses so that he doesn't incite a riot, because you can't call Missima, you got to call him the prophet.
Right.
You can't call Rand, you got to call him the Dragon
Lord
Reborn.
Dragon Reborn. Yeah. May the light illumine his...
Right.
Immortal soul.
Beautiful. Everybody better kneel towards him because he's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So, Perrin's playing it smart.
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah.
Now, at the mention of apparently knowing the prophet personally, everyone gets pretty excited. They're looking at him like he's a glee man. They're all so excited. They go running around. And then finally, a woman with white at her temples.
Oh, no. Did it happen again?
It happened again.
I didn't even look for that.
Yeah, so she's a woman with white at her temples.
Okay.
Which denotes that she's aging.
Yes, gracefully. I don't know.
Yeah. So she comes to bring them to the prophet. Now, Perrin leaves the warders and one Ashaman to watch the horses, and the rest go with them, and they get led to where Masema is.
Yeah, and it is a lot of description of, like, walking through the house and a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Now, they get to the room where Masema is, and he's standing in the middle of the room, and there's, like, 2 fireplaces going, and there's maps everywhere. It's quite the dramatic scene.
A little bit.
Perrin's like, it's so warm in here, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Masema's crazy.
It sets a pretty good scene. Like, it's all dark and fire blazing. I don't know. It feels good. It feels dramatic.
Yeah.
For this conversation that's about to take place.
So here's the thing. Do you think that Masema is being dramatic?
No.
Did he,
no,
like,
I think
set
he's
the stage?
crazy.
Okay, like, he didn't, like, set the stage for this? You know how sometimes Rand does his, like, power poses?
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay.
Masema's just nuts.
Just unhinged.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Don't get me wrong, Rand can be unhinged sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think Masema's doing anything preemptively.
Just kind of going with it.
Yes.
Like, this is where I was happened to be standing when you walked in.
This is where the Dragon Reborn has led me to. This is my fate.
Which is going to be interesting on what he says as we get into things here. So let's do this.
Okay. So Masema is standing in the middle of the room, and as soon as he sees Perrin, he says, "So it is you. I didn't think you would dare show your face. I know what you've been up to."
That's a bad start. Bad start.
Yeah, apparently Masema is keeping himself up to date on the news, and the guy who was collecting ears before, who Perrin yelled at, screamed at, and threatened, is in this room right now.
Yeah.
So then Masema really starts going off the handle, and he says, "I know you're murdering men who've come to the Lord Dragon. I know you're trying to carve out your own kingdom. I know about Manetheren and your ambition and your greed for glory."
Yeah.
And it just, like, goes off and off and off.
It is kind of interesting because we saw all that play out from Perrin's perspective of, like, oh, maybe that'll, like, distract and throw some, like, wild rumors up. And clearly he bit on all of them.
Yes.
Of what he thinks Perrin's here to do. Mm-hmm. Is, like, to steal territory from him.
And the Lord Dragon.
And the Lord Dragon. Right. Not from him. Sorry. It's all for the Lord Dragon. But, I mean, yeah. He bit, and he's clearly wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
Perrin is not here for...
Well,
he
and
got
you know
land.
what? Perrin is pretty smart here. He doesn't try to, like, reason with crazy.
No.
He doesn't try to be like, "No, I'm not." Like, he doesn't get defensive or whatever. He just, like,
lets him
carries
rant.
on.
Yeah.
But the problem right now is that the 2 Aes Sedai who are here have lowered their hoods in a dramatic fashion, and Masema instantly recognizes the face of 2 Aes Sedai, and he flips out. This sets him off because he says, "It is true, the filthy rumors that you're riding with these
blah, 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 blah,
type
blah,
of people."
blah.
And finally Perrin cuts him off and says, "They've sworn fealty to the Lord Dragon. They serve him. Do you?"
Yeah, because it's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yes.
I'm an emissary for the Dragon Reborn, and what are you doing here?
Yeah, because Perrin also says, "The Dragon Reborn sent me to stop the killing that you're doing here and to bring you to him."
Yeah, big part of that plan.
And this catches Masema off guard, but then he starts talking about how he's given up the names of men.
I love this part,
Now
by the
he's
way.
simply known as the prophet of the Lord Dragon. Made the light illumine his name. But it's because at some point Perrin got angry and called him Masema.
Yeah,
So he's like going off about, like, that's what he's choosing to focus on.
But this is the thing too. I mean, we can say he's a totally unhinged guy, but he's also doing, like, an incredible job of deflecting what Perrin's saying. So
Yes.
Perrin is, like, literally focusing in and saying, "Hey, I'm here to bring you to the dragon and
Let's go."
Let's
Yeah.
go." And Masema distracts and deflects by saying, "I'm not Masema anymore. I'm I'm simply known as the prophet of the dragon. May the light illumine him and the world come to kneel before him." It's like, that's not a simpler name, first of all, number one.
Plus, you know what?
Yeah.
There is so much still to be done here.
Yeah.
And since traveling in the winter is always super slow, it won't even matter if I'm delayed a few weeks.
Yeah. So, like...
So, no, I'm not going anywhere.
So, how unhinged is he really? Because he's doing, like, a really good job of deflect, distract, change the subject.
Yeah,
I want to delay.
Yeah, he's unhinged enough.
this doesn't seem like the actions of an unhinged completely guy.
Oh, yeah, it does.
It kind of seems like he's being very intentional, like trying to like not meet up with
because he's super anxious and doesn't actually want to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like if he was actually like this devout, I'm the prophet for... Wouldn't he want to?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see your point, though.
Like, how much is intentional? How much is crazy? How much is really smart?
Yeah, I'm going to go 70-30.
Okay.
70-30 crazy.
Okay. 70 is the crazy.
He likes his little life he's set up for himself here.
Yeah, yeah.
So he has a lot of power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very like the Game of Thrones, like Sparrow's vibe.
Yes.
Like from the beginning, we've a little
that.
bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a very good interpretation of it.
Yeah. So now Perrin stops Missima again and says, actually, I could have you in Kyrian today. Then you can talk with the Lord Dragon and be back here in a few days.
Yeah.
But then Perrin thinks to himself, if Rand ever lets you go, like, that's another thing.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking, oh, we're going to Kyrian? I don't think Rand's in Kyrian.
Well, I mean, at least get him to somewhere like a location where Rand might be.
And where he could be, like, under lockdown.
Yeah.
And stop doing what he's doing.
Anywhere but here. But I mean, as soon as Perrin says, hey, I can have you out of here today, you kind of see the wheels start spinning in Missima's mind to be like, how do I get out of this?
He's heard about gateways.
Yeah.
Because right away, he's like, nope, absolutely not. I will not be touched by the One Power. It's blasphemy for mortals to touch it. And the Lord Dragon is not like other men, so he's allowed to channel, but no way I am not having anything to do with that One Power.
Yeah. Which is like, clearly it's not, it's because you're literally trying to stay away from
But also,
the
I think
Reborn.
that he also believes that too. Because he's like really upset about the Aes Sedai.
Yeah. That's it. That's why it's like a 70-30 split of like 70% sure, maybe crazy delusional, but also the 30%.
And he also might be legitimately scared of touching anything to do with the One Power.
I just think he's like a liar.
Yeah. Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, he kind of plays it so well. He plays it so well that he can just be a big liar. And why wouldn't you go to see the Dragon Reborn sooner if you're actually, like, at all a devout prophet for the Lord Dragon?
I'll be interested to hear
He's
what
a lying
other
liar
people,
face.
what their take on this is.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's, like, especially, like, for a first-time reading interpretation.
Yeah.
But, like, right from the get-go, I like Missima. He's playing everything so properly to deflect and distract, and then
I think that he is unhinged enough that he 100% believes that Rand is like the Lord Dragon Reborn, whatever, and he needs to bring people to him. But at the same time, like, I don't want to be in front of that.
Yeah,
like, to come face to face with the person that you're supposed to be.
Yeah, like what
worshipping.
What are you worried about, man? Are you worried about like judgment from the Lord
Yeah,
Dragon that
probably.
you're
That's like when
profiting for?
Yeah, so that's like the 30% where he starts to waver.
Yeah.
A touch.
And he can do a lot more damage on like a long horseback journey versus gatewaying and being there today. So he might be able to delay more.
Or spreading the message.
See, I don't think he has any good intentions there.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
No, and in my opinion, he's just not gonna go.
Yeah, I mean yeah. So let's get a little bit further into this for what Perrin's solution is.
Yeah, so Perrin is already exhausted by this conversation, and now he doesn't know how Missima will react when he finds out the Ashaman can channel too. And it's like, I know how he'll react. It's this.
Is it badly?
It's this way.
It's badly, isn't it?
Yeah, and now at one point, Perrin considers knocking Missima over the head, and I was like, yeah, good idea, man.
You know what?
Wrap him up in the power.
Even if he doesn't want to travel via Gateway, guess whose decision it's not?
Yeah,
it's not
Missima's.
his.
Exactly.
It's my decision, and you're coming.
And you can't
do anything to stop it.
No, and how long has Perrin been out doing this thing, doing his mission here?
Yeah.
He wants to stop this and go back to wherever he wants to be.
Drag Missima's sorry ass through the Gateway.
Yeah. Wrap him up in the power.
Yeah. Or even ropes, man. You don't even have to touch him with the power. We're going through a gateway.
Yeah.
You don't get to dictate that we're riding by horse.
In this moment, we need the power to help us even wrap him up in ropes.
And you know what? Honestly, you could say, yeah, we'll go by horse, bring him back to the camp and be like, oh, change of plans.
Yeah.
Like, get him out of the city peacefully, sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Which still might be an option.
Yeah, but he's... Yeah. Yeah, because he definitely has some lackeys he's going to want to bring with him, and that's going to be a situation. Yeah. At this point, I was like, no, let's just do it. Let's just, come on. Come on, Perrin.
And I mean, there still might be hope where we could, like, literally...
You know what? I'm going to be hopeful. When I read this, and Perrin here agrees, he tells Missima, then we ride, but no delays. The Lord Dragon is very anxious to talk with you. And Missima says, I'm anxious to speak with the Lord Dragon too.
Yeah.
But he smells grim.
He's anxious because he's an asshole, and he knows it.
Yeah. I don't know. I really, really hope that Perrin is just saying, okay, fine, we ride, to get him out.
Yeah, peacefully, and then we can get away.
And then we can conk him on the head with a hammer.
Yeah.
Because, seriously.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, that's the end of this perspective. Let's take a quick break.
Sure, yeah.
And we'll come back for the next one.
Okay.
Okay, we're back. I have a drink refill, had a little snack.
Good to go.
Ready to go.
For this excellent perspective.
Oh my goodness, I have some things.
Okay.
I want to share.
I'm curious.
Are
you curious.
Yeah. Curious?
Well,
okay.
it's clearly the beginning of something.
Ugh. I don't want to think about it, actually. I don't really like this.
Okay.
I hope it's the beginning of Savannah's downfall.
Ooh, love it. Okay.
And we had a perspective where, like, Galena's dead, maybe? Somebody mentioned that?
What?
Yeah. Who was it? Some Forsaken or something. Well, Galena's dead, so she would have told you something. Was that?
Yeah, that was...
Tell me who it was and when, because I know it happened.
Yeah, no, it did. That was the Alviar in perspective with, like, the dress touching and, like, the bronze.
With Masana, yes.
Yeah. And clearly Masana doesn't know everything, and that was kind of partially of Alviarin's point.
But mention of Galena being dead.
So
now,
we'll see.
Is she actually dead, or is she just assumed dead because she's missing and captive by Savannah?
It doesn't matter anymore, so sorry, yeah.
Although, I do think that Savannah's downfall started a little while ago.
Okay. Well, maybe
because
Savannah specifically, Tharava is really taking control, so maybe not... just because Savannah...
these orders are Savannah's.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, let's get to it.
Okay.
First, we're going to do some hawking. And should we have another fact about the difference between, like, hawks and falcons?
For sure, yes.
I think it's funny that Faile and Barrelane are hawking with falcons together.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
And there's something about, like, a favorite hawk or falcon, because it's Eliandra's or something.
Yep.
But then, like, Faile gets it, how it's yours, but you gotta give it away. It's not...
I don't know. It's all stupid.
Yeah,
so, Faile and her little entourage are out hawking. Faile is thinking about how Magden is coming along quite well as a lady's maid.
That's actually
and how
good, yeah.
Linny is currently the first among her serving women. And she's really good at dishing out, her authority when it's needed.
That's good. I guess that's good for Magden.
Yeah, also, side note, Faile thinks Magden and Talonvor are sleeping together.
Right.
And if she can find proof of that, she'll make sure they marry. So, they're not married yet.
Yeah.
It's been a while, like a month at least.
Because Linny was like, yo, marry them. Yeah.
And also, while you're at it, the other two.
Yeah.
Brienne
and Lamgwin.
That's the one, yeah.
But apparently not yet, so.
Yeah. Now, Bane and Chiad are here with them, and Sulin wanted to send all the maidens along too, but they figured with all the rumors around they should keep some behind so they don't attract more attention.
Yeah.
But they have like 40 soldiers around to protect them, and I'm wondering how this would have went down if all the maidens that are there were here.
Yes.
Would they have one?
Well, so there's only like another 24 maidens or so.
Okay, or would we just have many more Gashine and dead people?
Yeah, it's very possible to go either way because we don't really get a firm count of how many people were here. But I mean, having like an extra 30 maidens is definitely helpful. It's not helpful. That's like having 200 soldiers. We've seen maidens in action versus like their 40 soldiers.
But it's against other Aiel, so it's really 1-to-1.
I mean, yeah.
These soldiers are literally useless.
Yeah, it's hard to say exactly what would have happened, but we know what did happen, so...
Yes. So now, Faile at this point is thinking about how some miracle must have happened because Perrin is finally yelling at her and treating her like he's supposed to.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, we do get, from her perspective, why she likes what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because now he's not treating her like some supple, dainty flower.
Yes.
He's treating her like a strong woman who can stand up to him, and he can stand up to her.
Yeah, and even though it's like kind of backwards on the surface to what maybe we would think is good,
yes.
it makes sense in her mind.
Yes.
And that's why it pissed her off so much when he wouldn't like yell at her or raise his voice.
But he would yell at Barreling.
Exactly, because
yes.
you think she's
she's
worthy, but I'm not.
She's strong, and you think I'm not.
What I really want to see...
you know what? I can understand that logic, and I never thought I would really be very understanding of Faile and Perrin's relationship. It started out badly.
Yeah, and all it took was Elias's couples therapy session. So that's what I really need to see.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, at this point they get interrupted because 3 riders are galloping towards them as fast as they can through the snow, and it's 3 of Faile's Faile.
Yes.
Her little crew.
Yep.
And as soon as they get up to Faile, they tell her it's dire news because the prophet has been meeting with the Seanchan.
Yeah, and it's like this entire thing is like maybe medium dire news.
Yeah, and there's a bit of a back and forth about the credibility of this news, and it seems like it's probably accurate because someone saw one of the large flying lizards land, and the woman got off and met with Missima.
Yeah.
And Faile thinks this is a problem because, oh my gosh, how could Missima really think that the Seanchan would serve Rand?
Yeah. So, I mean, okay. So, number one, this is painted as, like, dire news that they need to go and tell Perrin immediately. And Faile even says, like, I need to ride to the town where Perrin's at with the prophet right now. I need to go alert him because of this very important news about Missima meeting with the Seanchan. So, like, is it actually that important, or can that wait? Because...
Yeah, why is this so dire? Because... It's
kind of weird. It's weird news.
Maybe the news is that the Seanchan are this far west into Amadicia? Is that where they are?
Maybe. Abila's not on the map, so it's like hard to tell. Maybe northish. So it's like...
Or southwest? I don't know where we are.
Yeah, maybe we should be concerned that Missima is meeting with the Seanchan in general.
Yeah.
But, like, is that urgent news for this meeting that is going down right now? Yeah, presumably.
Yeah, probably not. Just because of the knowledge that we know.
Exactly, yeah.
But Faile is operating under different knowledge. It's true. She thinks that Missima is a bit unhinged, but... doesn't know just quite where he's at.
Yeah.
And also has no idea about the Seanchan and what they've just, like, dealt with, really, unless they've gotten some sort of word or news.
Yeah, but, like, doubt it, because,
Not doubt it. If that was a month ago, I'm sure there has been some traveling news about Seanchan being pushed back by the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, but usually with news like that, we hear about it in some sort of tidbit in the writing. Like, we get an off-topic thought process.
I think that this is... us hearing about Faile being concerned about Seanchan.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think that she would have this reaction if she's never heard about the Seanchan being in Amadicia before.
Okay, that's fair. I
think that she has this reaction because there's extraneous knowledge that we don't know. Perhaps. Like, maybe this is dire news because there's other things happening that we don't know about.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, like, figure out, like, what would be the reason that makes it so dire.
I know.
Like, what's Missima gonna do?
Exactly. It's a mystery. Yeah. It's a mystery.
The Seanchan are going to team up with the White Cloaks.
Can you guess who?
And they're going to team up with the Prophet, and they're going to trifecta it
and
attack Rand.
Does your person have a hat?
Nope. Does your person have a giant lizard? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh. That's the Guess Who theme song?
No, I gotcha. I got that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I know that.
Oh, the weird ones that stick in my head. All of those jingles. I have them all.
Mm.
Anyway, okay.
Is it water on the knee?
Operation. Good one. Yes. Yeah.
Hey, what are you kids doing in there?
Just getting into trouble.
Classic. Classic games.
Classic. So good. I even have the whole Perfection song.
Yeah, we got better things to talk about.
No, you ready?
Nope.
Put the pieces into the slot.
Make the right selection.
But be quick, you're racing the clock. Wow! Pop goes perfection. See?
Yep,
you know it too. You have it. It's in there.
I didn't realize it was in my brain until you started singing it. And then it's
good.
like, yeah, it's still stuck in there. Okay.
Okay. But you're right. We do have other things to talk about. Okay, but actually, you know what I'm thinking about why this news might be so dire?
Okay, go.
I think that maybe there were other side conversations about Perrin being very concerned about the Seanchan. And maybe there was discussion in this entire month of riding into Amadicia where it's known that there are Seanchan here. Maybe there was discussion about getting to the prophet before the Seanchan did.
Gotcha.
Or something like that.
Okay.
There has to be a reason Faile has this reaction.
I accept that. I accept the premise. I like it.
From what we know, yeah, this makes no sense. But there's gotta be more.
Okay. I like it. All right. Tuck it away.
Okay, but this conversation is cut short because one of their soldiers falls from his saddle and then another one nearby takes an arrow through his throat and goes down. And it's like, nice. Way to go, soldiers.
That's what
you
they're
guys
here
suck.
for, is to get shot first.
Yeah. And suddenly they're surrounded by Aiel popping up everywhere. There's hundreds of them, and they're closing in fast, and Faile calls out to everyone around her and says, someone must get this news of Massima to Lord Perrin. Like, that's all she's thinking about.
Yeah, and it's like, no, more like you need to get news to Perrin that this attack is happening.
Yes.
Like, that's more important.
Way more
than the
important.
stupid Seanchan thing.
Yeah, I don't think that she realizes how dire her situation is.
Right, that's fair.
But also, her reaction even more emphasizes that this must be a big deal to Perrin.
Yeah, possibly. Okay. So her plan right now is like, scatter!
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Faile starts shouting at everyone to ride, so hopefully one person can escape. And, okay, I was almost ready.
Okay.
At this point, to admit defeat.
Oh.
And admit that the Shido being dispersed everywhere
Say it.
Was a bad thing.
Yes!
However.
Oh, okay.
I retract that thinking and that statement the moment I find out that this is Savannah's group.
What?
Because this isn't just Shido attacking everywhere and it being terrible. This is one specific group of Shido who are bad and annoying, and if they're bad and annoying here, they would be bad and annoying it over there, and that's all.
But like Savannah and her hundreds of groups of whatever the split is, everyone's doing shit like this all over the place.
Are they though? I don't know that.
I mean, from what we...
I don't know that.
They're Shido.
So at this
they're
point,
Shido dogs. Of course they're doing it.
Annoying Shido Aiel was a different group. And I was like, oh shit, okay. They're everywhere. They're doing bad stuff. Maybe this wasn't great.
Yeah.
But...
do you really think it's just Savannah's group that's being a bunch of...
like this? Yeah, I do.
And all the other groups of Shido are just...
this is Savannah, has all the wise ones, everyone who might be like crafty thinkers and in charge of doing stuff like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't
necessarily...
I'm not quite throwing in the towel yet.
Okay. I accept that you don't admit defeat yet.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
I almost did.
We don't know how it's going to go.
And when this happened, I was like, damn it.
You're also like, cool, I love it when Faile gets kidnapped by the Shido. Love it.
I'm actually more concerned about Morgaze and...
yeah, that's fair.
The rest of them.
I thought, when you started saying, like, hey, I was like, oh, perfectly willing to accept that Faile's just going to get killed right here and you're going to be happy about it. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Oh. I wouldn't have been happy.
You might have been a little bit happy.
No.
But okay.
Faile just has a lot of learning left to do.
That's fair. She's young.
Yes.
It's like 18 or something.
Oh, so much learning to do.
She doesn't even know yet.
She doesn't even know how much learning.
Okay. Oh, so much.
Okay. But now, Faile rides off, and she even gets a little ways away, but then her horse goes down, and she's thrown from her saddle, and before she knows it, an Aielman is on top of her, and I was like, oh, she's just gonna die here. No. Because, of course, I forgot. I forgot the Aiel way. I completely forgot. So, they strip her down naked in the snow.
Immediately.
Which, number one, that's cold.
So here's the thing. This is my number one thing that I hate about fantasy series and TV shows, is how coldness is portrayed.
Yes.
Because if you get too cold, you die.
Yeah.
Your toes will fall off. Your ears will fall off. Your fingers will fall off.
Yeah,
and if you're in the snow...
your nose, don't forget your nose.
You're just like any amount of time in the snow,
like if your
30 minutes,
bare feet are in the snow,
your feet are going to fall off.
Oh, yeah.
Like legit. Like you'll get frostbite and then your feet will fall off and then you'll die.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
This is reminding me of your how thick is that ice fun fact.
I said I was never going to talk about it.
How thick is that
I
ice?
said I was going to talk about it, and I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about
game
in
show.
general.
It's a new game show.
In general.
How cold is that snow?
Not cold enough.
For this?
Yeah, the snow here is not cold enough.
The fact that they can just like kneel in snow naked.
It would
and
never
be,
happen.
Like, oh, chilly.
You would have a bunch of bodies within an hour.
Okay, so the biggest thing that we have a situation with.
Yep. Snow.
When it comes to Robert Jordan,
I feel like it's a Canadian thing. I don't know.
The South.
Does he not know? Did he not know?
Snow?
I don't know if he knows.
I don't think he knows snow.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hey, Danny, why do you walk to school backwards?
Because the wind blows in your face and it freezes your face.
Yeah, you have to walk to school backwards because the wind will blow in your face. So if you don't want the wind,
but you
face will
also
freeze
have
by
your
the time
scarf up to your eyes and your toque down
to your eyes, and then you still walk to school backwards because otherwise your face will freeze, and then your mom's gonna be like, "Hey, you got frostbite on your face.
You should have had your scarf.
You should have had your scarf."
And you're like, "I lost my scarf." Yeah, I know.
So, anyways, if anyone ever says, "Brett, you're never critical about anything in the Wheel of Time," not true.
Yeah. It's the winter scenes.
The winter
scenes. I bet
scenes.
next book is really hard for you. Isn't it called Winter's Heart?
Yeah, I mean, but like
winter?
we're gonna talk about how much nudity, kneeling in snow there is. Maybe next book, we don't know. But you can you put shoes on, put gloves on. Not those fingerless, stupid gloves. Yeah, you need gloves. Come on.
Oh
okay.
yeah,
Anyways.
and even the ones that are fingerless, but then have the mittens that pull over.
Oh yeah, I had those as a kid.
But they're not warm enough.
Nope.
Your fingers are still cold in there.
You know, you got to put like finger mitts
I
underneath
had those. Those were so cool.
They were cool in concept.
They were so cool.
In execution, just
I was
the
so
worst.
cool with those. I had green ones.
I had, I think I had like gray ones or something. I had like pretty plain. No. Also, because the snow got underneath the little pouch, the little pocket.
Yeah, you know what's funny? In our Discord today, there was a huge conversation about snow, and there was somebody talking about how they've never seen snow before and never want to.
Are they from Tyr?
No, they're from Australia. Yeah.
It's basically the same thing.
they're from
Okay.
Alien. Okay. Anyway,
we gotta like
we had to get that out of the way. You're
suspend the disbelief. Okay, sure, they're kneeling naked in the snow.
Out of everything,
and it's fine.
That's unrealistic about this series.
Whatever, I get it. I don't even care.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's chilly now. It's cold. It's cold.
Yeah.
Just a touch cold though. Okay. All right. So anyway, she's naked in the snow. She's bound up. She has a leash around her neck. She has no choice but to follow along, and all she can do is hope that someone has made it out to bring word of what happened here. Like, that's literally all she's thinking.
Yeah, I mean, and that makes sense. Like, at this point, you're not going to escape. So, yeah, you hope the word gets out.
What I'm going to start doing is I'm going to hope that I can get out of this somehow.
Yeah.
Okay, so Faile gets led back to where their hawking group was, and she sees bodies everywhere. There's some of her Faile and winged guards and other soldiers, and then she sees some other prisoners, because Bane and Chiad are here as captives, also naked in the snow.
Yeah, as Guy Shine.
And they say, hey, that's not right, Shido. She doesn't follow Giotto. You can't make her Guy Shine.
Turns out Shido aren't playing by rules anymore.
And at this point I went, oh.
Yeah.
I didn't even really know what was happening.
Yeah.
Like, I thought Faile was, like, about to be raped, or, like, at this point wasn't completely obvious that they were being attacked by Aiel.
Yeah, until they say literally Shido, like, hey, this is what's happening. So.
Yeah, and so...
But then going back to what Savannah was saying previously when we got in her perspective, she was like, yeah, let's make everybody Guy Shine. I'm going to have thousands.
And now it makes sense.
Yeah.
But until this is explicitly stated, we're not 100% sure what's happening. We don't know why Faile wasn't just killed. We don't know why she's naked right now.
Well, and you also know who doesn't know all that stuff. Faile.
Yeah.
Faile also doesn't know what's going on really 100%.
No. So we get a little bit of a conversation that we overhear between these, like, Shido, and they say, one of them says, this is foolishness. We travel at basically a crawl in this snow.
Yeah, this is a guy named Roland.
In this snoo.
Snoo.
Like they have trouble saying it.
Yeah.
And they say we should be moving east, not taking more Guy Shine. And then another says Savannah wants more Guy Shine.
Yeah, there we go.
And Faile slowly takes in all this information, but she's confused because she's like, Savannah and the Shido, they should be in Kinslayer's Dagger, super far from here.
They should be super far from here.
Yeah.
But they're not, because Samael.
Right. And so then we get more captives brought in. The first is Magdalene, because that was my other worry.
Yeah.
Was, where is she?
Who's going to accidentally just get murdered.
Yeah. So Magdalene is Morgaze, in case anyone forgot.
Oh, right. Yep.
So
Okay.
Magdalene has also been stripped down, same as Faile.
Yep.
And then there's Alejandra, and then a couple of the Ch.30 are also brought in.
Yep.
And one of the Shido says, the rest are dead or escaped. This will have to do.
Yeah,
Savannah
like, this
will
is
have to
enough.
be
We're not
happy with
chasing more down, like, whatever.
And so Faile doesn't struggle, and she lets herself get prodded along as they head through the snow, naked.
Yeah, again, nope.
With the other prisoners, and she really hopes that someone escaped to let Perrin know what happened.
Yeah. So
Even
for
if
the
that
record,
means she has to put her faith in Barrelane.
yeah, because here's the thing. Barrelane was in this hawking crew, and she's not a prisoner, so she's either dead or she escaped.
Or she escaped. And we assume she escaped.
You assume she escaped.
I assume she escaped.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, uh-oh.
Yeah.
This is a terrible situation.
Yeah, it's not great. Also because Faile's realizing, like, hey, she clearly wants to escape, but she also is really starting to understand that her two, like, BFFs, like Bane and Chiad, aren't gonna try to escape because they're Guy Shine.
Yes.
This is acceptable under the terms and conditions of being taken, is that they serve a year and a day.
Yeah. You know who's not just going to be okay with this? Faile.
Yeah, Faile won't be.
You know who's going to murder Savannah?
Who?
Faile.
Faile?
Yes.
Really? How?
Oh, yeah. She is somehow...
Yeah, okay. Well, that's like a pretty...
She is not going to be okay with this. She is not just going to meekly take this and be like, well, I guess,
But what's she going to do?
Murder Savannah.
How?
I don't know. Hit her in the head with a hammer.
She's going to get close enough with a hammer to Savannah to murder her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, those are pretty
in her sleep.
Big statements here.
If anyone can do it, Faile is not staying here.
Okay.
She is so freaking feisty. There is no way.
Okay. All right.
Or she's just going to die. Because she won't be Guy Shine.
Yeah.
Or she'll, like, pretend to be Guy Shine, but she'll be so bad at it. I just can't see this going, like, well for either Faile or Savannah.
You know what? I'll agree to that statement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever happens, no one's gonna like this.
Nobody is gonna. This isn't going to be good.
Okay.
She's not just gonna be like, oh well, I guess this is. You know who will like this? The Ch.30.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But then they can't like serve Faile because...
No, but they like to pretend to... They're Aiel wannabes.
Oh, and now they're like actually Guy Shine. Oh, amazing.
Shoot.
Yeah. Except for the ones who got murdered. That...
Shoot for them.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Well.
Sucks for them.
Yep. All right. Well, I mean, and that's the big like cliffhanger for like the book. We really do end.
Perrin's just gonna be cool with Faile.
Well, first
just
off,
like being a prisoner of Savannah's. Yeah, right.
Perrin doesn't know that she's gone.
Nah, she will though. He will. He will.
Okay, he will. Well, at some point he's gonna be like, "Hey, where's my wife?" Anyways,
I hope at least a few got away.
And now he's got Massima
to deal with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a situation, and
it is.
It's an interesting one. I'm here for it. This is a good plot line.
Cool. Okay, I like that.
Yeah. I'm not super thrilled. I'm not like, yay, this is great news. This is really, to use Massima's smelling word.
I mean, it's like
this
it's
is
bad.
all very grim.
Yeah.
It's not. None of this is good.
Same with like Rand getting kidnapped in the books. You're not like, oh, I like but it's like interesting plot line. Let's kidnap Rand.
Yeah. If only they could have some kind of bond.
Who?
Faile and Perrin.
Okay.
Then he could find her.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist.
He'll follow his nose.
You know what? He'll use as wolves. maybe he'll have Elias.
Yeah, that's true.
they'll actually be able to have conversations with wolves and not just like Perrin being weird about it.
Yeah, Elias he seems better at that kind of thing.
Okay.
I mean, it's a huge setup for like, moving forward.
Yeah.
Because that is the cliffhanger for the book.
This is a big setup.
It's a big one. Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
It's definitely an end of season cliffhanger.
It is. Yep.
Because we got to the prophet. I said it doesn't feel like the end of a book, but it kind of does, because this was Perrin's thing. This is what we were here to do. We were here to see the prophet, and we got to him.
Yeah.
And now it's like, now what?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like, oh, we got to Massima, and then we're like, hey, man, stop it. And then he said, okay.
And he was like, I want to talk to Rand too. And then gatewayed right on over.
Let's go. Good, yeah.
No,
Jeez.
and I mean, like, yeah, are there going to be bumps along the way?
Maybe.
Sure.
Okay. We have one more perspective to get to, though.
We do. So let's take a quick break and then come on back.
Okay.
Okay, and we're back.
Yeah, this is a pretty quick perspective.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, it's pretty great for the setup.
Yeah, it's a good setup.
We skip all the stuff you hate. We didn't have to sit through a month in the camp of Egwene doing stuff.
I do want that.
But you know where it's gonna be better? When they're at Tarvalon.
Yeah, that stuff's gonna be great when we get there, never. But...
We're here. We're literally here.
I know.
We're here.
I know, but listen.
She rides to the gateway.
Uh-huh.
Tarvalon is right there.
Then we're going to need an Egwene perspective. And when the hell is that going to happen? I don't have my hopes up. But
oh my goodness.
I just feel like I'm excited, and then I'm just going to be waiting.
Oh.
Like, do I think we're opening book 9 with this? No.
Well, okay.
No.
Okay, but we talked about what a siege is, though, right? Like, we're not charging up to the walls and hacking at the walls with swords.
Also, that's a problem. Now, we did get sort of a recap here in a little bit what's been going on, and not much has changed this month, apart from the fact that they have 1,000 more people.
Yeah, no, a lot of novices. It's going very well.
Yeah.
And it does seem like the sitters / the sisters are listening to Egwene, because it does seem like her whole war strategy, like, I'm the captain now, it actually did work. So they have to listen to her.
About that, but they've been arguing about literally everything else.
But, like, for the most part, she is actually in charge of the war effort.
Right.
And that was the speculation we kind of talked about when we heard her pull that punch. Mm-hmm. That, are they going to find a loophole? And it doesn't seem like they have.
No, not for this.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah.
But Ramonda and Lilani still hate each other.
That's fair, but, like, that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. That's good for Egwene.
It's good for Egwene. Yeah, Gareth Bryn's still on her side.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Chessa, the maid, is still muttering about Salami and Mary, who ran off, so we don't know about that whole murder plot thing.
Yeah, they were murdered. They were murdered.
But we don't know about that. We don't know.
I know.
Because friggin' Halima.
That's true, frickin' Halima. Which I'll get to.
Interesting. Okay,
so here we are. We're entering in our Egwene perspective. We literally just talked about the entire perspective. But
yeah,
I'll touch on the stuff we didn't talk about. Egwene is walking her horse through a whole bunch of these new novices.
Yeah, because it's meeting time. It's like, it's action time. It's go time.
It's go time. So she's with Sheriam and Swan. And Egwene thinks about how it's been a month since she opened the novice book to women of all ages. And it's brought in a ton of recruits. And most of them will not be strong enough to become full Aes Sedai. But on the flip side, there are a whole bunch who are super strong and old.
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing that I actually love about this, is that we get a reference to a grandmother who is potentially going to be stronger than Nynaeve.
Could be.
Because Nynaeve is like the uber strong one.
Yeah.
But also like just returning channelers back to like Age of Legends standards.
Yes.
So I like the fact that our main characters are not necessarily uniquely strong or overpowered.
Yeah.
It's just like that's where they should be. And if the Aes Sedai had ever gone looking ever for any sort of recruits, they would have already had Nynaeve level channelers probably in the tower.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. And also.
Yep.
In case you forgot about these guys.
Yeah.
Just 2 days ago, a whole group of 2 Rivers girls showed up, and they're all in shock that Egwene is the Amyrlin.
Yeah.
And are not treating her with much respect.
No, not yet. And Egwene's going to punish him if she needs to, but she doesn't want to. But she will.
Yeah. And they're like sticking their tongue out at her.
I mean, I get that.
Yeah. Because, like, Oh, Egwene, the mayor's daughter.
I mean, you go back to your
Is the
hometown, it's like
Amyrlin.
your friend or the kid you knew is like now the president. You're like,
Oh yeah.
what? No.
Yeah, that is what this is.
And it's like, sure, you were good in school, but like not that good.
But anyway, the actual biggest thing we picked up on there was that it's been a month.
Yeah, that's the
thing here.
Time lapse. Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. So Gareth Bryn walks up to meet Egwene and falls in line beside Swan, and apparently Swan isn't grumbling at him as much anymore. And they approach the lineup of sitters who are waiting for Egwene. They've been obeying her pretty much. We talked about this.
Yep.
And then Lilani and Ramonda are coming up together to, like, speak at Egwene separately. But she talks first, gets the upper hand, and says, "It's time we got on with it, daughters. We have no time for wasting in idle chatter. Proceed."
Let's do this.
Shut 'em up.
Let's do it.
Yes. So we have 13 sisters who are here. They all embrace Saidar.
Yeah,
and
clearly they're linking to form like an Uber
giant
gateway.
Circle, right? And 13 is the most that can be together
without a man present.
That's right. Okay. So they're all embracing Saidar together. They open a gigantic gateway, the biggest we've ever seen.
We have not seen anything this big. This is huge.
10 paces tall and 100 paces wide.
That's huge.
That's big.
That's enormous.
Great.
Gigantic. But that's the thing about like the Ashaman is that they can't like link together in these gigantic circles. There's limits on who can form circles.
So if there's a woman channeler and like other men channelers, like how many can link together? Like how does that work?
So generally speaking, and we've seen like tidbits of this information from like Forsaken perspectives.
Okay.
When you're in the very low numbers, it's kind of weird. Where it's like a 2-to-1 ratio, where it's like there can be like
2 men and one
woman. It's like a little bit fuzzy. But like for women only, there can be up to 13 max, and then one man is added. You can have another 13 women.
Yeah.
Another man, another 13. But then it also gets weirder the higher end of the spectrum too.
But it like caps out at like 27 or something.
No, way more than that. Yeah.
Okay. Did I just make that up?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
But that's okay. So it's a little bit wonky, but here this is what's happening. But Ashaman individually, they can't link together.
Okay.
Which is also important to note, like Lews Theron's attack on the boar and like the 100 companions.
Yeah.
Right.
It was all individual.
It was all individual channelers. It wasn't like one big gigantic circle.
Okay. And so at this point, has Rand experienced linking at all?
Not that we know of. I don't think we've seen Rand do anything like that.
Like a long time ago, Lanfear did it by accident. You know, when she was there, the weirdness and the tear with all those Trollocs at the beginning of book 4.
That wasn't, nope.
And like maybe it was, but we don't know what it is yet. You know, at that point.
No.
Because she certainly helped him with Calendor there.
That's debatable.
Well, she like told him that he should be using it.
I mean, that's different than like linking and.
No. I know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just thinking.
Okay.
All right.
Anyways, big gateway.
Giant gateway.
Yes.
Now, after some orders are shouted, the cavalry ride through.
And we get a spelling mistake.
Oh, okay.
No time like the end of the book for a spelling mistake.
Okay, tell me.
The word, it should be cavalry, but the word that's printed in my book is Calvary.
Oh.
Which is very different because Calvary refers to like a depiction of Jesus' crucifixion.
Oh.
Because you have the Calvary Church.
Ooh, okay.
But cavalry is the horsies.
The horsies.
The guys on
horsey
horses.
Soldiers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming we're doing the guys on horses.
And not a depiction.
Not a Jesus attack on the White Tower.
Well.
But you never know. Never know.
Well.
It's not corrected, so I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I thought there was a mistake at the beginning of this chapter.
Yeah.
And I pointed it out to you. And I was like, in the very first sentence, it's like, Perrin holds his
cloak close
with one hand.
Instead of closed.
And I thought it was like the D was missing because I read it as Perrin held his cloak closed with one hand.
Yeah.
But even in the audiobook, they say close.
Yeah.
He holds it close with one hand. And so... not a mistake, just my brain made a mistake.
And that's okay. But this one, for sure, mistake.
Okay.
But more importantly, the gateway opens up.
Yeah.
We see the shining walls of Tar Valon, and the White Tower.
Really? She can actually see them?
It's literally right there.
I thought it's snowing and she thinks she can see them.
No, she can see it. It's in the distance.
Snowing. It is snowing.
Also, Dragonmount is there.
Yeah, well, that's only because she rides through and sees it.
It's all there.
She's supposed to wait.
It's all there.
She's supposed to wait. She can't help it.
We are sieging Tar Valon.
Okay, but you've informed me that that's not as exciting as it sounds.
It's go time.
It's like the siege on Troy that lasted, like, literally years.
Yeah.
Yeah, not great.
Okay.
Months, maybe.
A lot of stuff happened.
It
Pretty sure
like it
might have been years.
It was years. I just read that Patroclus and Achilles book.
Yeah, it's a long time. Long time.
Trojan War.
Way too long.
The siege on Troy was a very long time.
Bad siege.
They
should have started with the horse, with the cavalry.
The Trojan horse
That's
is
the
not
first
the
thing.
cavalry.
That's the first thing that I would do.
Trick 'em. Trick 'em.
Right? Okay. Anyways.
Ooh, how do we trick Elida?
Send a horse.
Big giant gift.
Love it.
Elida loves gifts.
Yes, that's true.
Elida, you were right. Accept this gift. We're back to accept you. Just joking,
If
Dad.
we really want to get into the weeds on this, Elida has like that collection of like minifigures.
Yes.
Give her like a little pony that explodes, and then when she takes it, it blows her up. It's a grenade horse.
Oh, we just want her to die. Just dead.
No, is that not what you want?
Yeah, but we need her to know what's happening before she's dead, because that's just like what my brain needs. My brain needs Elida to know she failed before she's dead.
Oh, does really?
Needs
That's
it.
like vengeful.
Needs it. Remember how I liked Elida?
Oh man.
Who remembers those days?
I do.
I was probably pregnant during that time.
There's something that's important about this. Oh yeah, the siege of Tar Valon is starting.
Oh, we're happening.
Because Egwene says it's begun.
Well, okay. We're riding through a gateway.
Why don't you believe that this is starting?
No, I believe it's starting. I'm just not excited about it.
Oh man, okay.
I'll be excited when we get back to it and I see what's happening.
Well,
unless we're just sitting outside the walls of Tar Valon for months.
Yeah. Well,
that's worse.
Wait till you hear about my fun fact, because Dragonmount is smoking.
Yes.
And it's like, do active volcanoes smoke? I don't know. Do dormant?
Do magical volcanoes smoke? Yes.
Is it magical?
Magical reincarnate.
Lews Therin is not the mountain.
No, but he was created from it.
That's also not how it went down.
That's how I remember it. Because I remember he turned himself into a mountain.
Yes. Lews Therin's soul is trapped inside the volcano.
No,
it wants to get out.
It's inside Brand.
Right, okay.
They're the same soul, right?
I feel like we really got off topic with this perspective.
Egwene rides in when she shouldn't.
You know what? I'm a little bit feeling pain because you didn't take this perspective as well as I thought you were going to take it.
What? I really like it.
I thought you were going to be excited.
I am excited.
That's not the vibe that I'm getting from you.
Brett, I can be excited and also critical at the same time. Okay?
Okay. That's fine.
I'm excited. This is exciting. You know what's more exciting? When more things than this happen. We're riding through a gateway.
You want a battle. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Now listen. I am pretty pumped that we made it the month without the Andorran people kind of intervening and doing bad things.
From what it seems.
We had them hunkered down too.
Yeah, they're waiting.
From what we knew.
Yeah. That's Elaine's problem now, probably.
I was more concerned that we're sitting in one spot for a month and we don't know if we're going to get to the point that Egwene wants to. So I am excited. We got to the point where we are doing the plan. It's been a month. We're going through with it. We're gatewaying. We're getting to Tar Valon. And it seems like everybody has had time to at least digest that information. And I think it was pretty smart of Egwene to share that information and then we sit on it for a little while.
Let it digest.
Because if she was like, tomorrow at dawn, we're gatewaying to Tar Valon, like that would have caused an uproar. No one would have been, everyone would have just been like, oh my God, what's happening?
That's true, that's true.
It would have been chaotic.
Yeah.
And we need our rebel force to go in calm and prepared.
Right.
And on the same page.
That's a good point.
That's the fact that we've made it the month, we have 1,000 novices.
Yeah,
with
it's
us.
a lot. Yeah.
It's wild. That part's wild.
Yeah.
And so we're going in. It sounds good. We're going to siege Tar Valon. Cool. And Egwene thinks Elida will fall soon. And then that's when she rides through and sees where Dragonmount stands. And so, super dramatic, super cool ending. Here we go.
Very cinematic shot. I like it.
It's cinematic, but like, my skeptical self is like, oh, all well and good. When the heck is the next time I'm going to see this? Because last book, we had a wall falling on Matt, and then we literally didn't get him this book.
That's true.
So
we had a Mattless book.
I'm glad it was the shortest one.
You know, we also had a who is lacking or not in this book.
Ooh, let me think for a second. Hold on.
Okay. Do you give up?
Yeah.
It's Moraine, because she's dead. Anyways.
Oh, I told you book 9. I told you book 9.
That's next book.
I predicted book 9.
That's next book.
Yes.
Moraine's coming back next book.
I know. I randomly threw out a number and now I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
That's what feels good.
I just want to know how long we have to go with no Moraine before you finally...
I told you, literally the last page of last book.
That's fine. Okay.
And that's what I'll admit.
Okay.
Same with Lanfear. I'm not done with her either.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Here's my question. Where's Halima?
That's true. We don't know.
Is she coming on with us here?
Well...
Is she still with us? It's been a month.
She could be.
Because that's the stuff I was interested in. The dream stuff, the headaches, the compulsion, the what's going on in Egwene's brain.
Yeah.
With a Forsaken hanging around here.
So here's the thing. We only got like a half a page or whatever, a page of this Egwene perspective.
Yeah.
That's clearly supposed to be a wrapping up the book scene.
Yeah.
So if we're going to get anything it'll be in the next time we see her.
You know what? I'm excited for the prologue of next book because prologues are always super interesting and tend to be Forsaken heavy.
All the good stuff.
I like the Forsaken information we get in prologues, so I'm hopeful on that end of things.
Yeah, that's fair.
It'll either make things better or more confusing.
Okay.
But one last thing before we move on from this chapter. Because it has been a month, we got from Perrin and Faile. It had been about a month since they got into Amador. We got a time skip, and it had been about a month here for Egwene. That also probably means it lines up with Rand and that attack happening somewhere between a couple weeks to a month ago.
Yeah,
and that's just like my logical brain needing a timeline.
Sure.
But that also means, where's Rand? What's he doing? Where's he been? I want to know.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's it. That's all you got for me.
I'm not telling you anything at the end of the book here. No way. No way.
Well, that is the end of this chapter. So let's move forward because this last chapter, like you said, didn't even really.
Yeah, it's rumor mill.
To be.
It could have been like its own paragraph, but that's okay. We got its own chapter.
Yeah, and one of my favorite little quirks about the audiobook, and I don't listen to a lot of audiobooks. Obviously, for the past 3 years, this is literally the books I've read. But when it's the last chapter, it says, Chapter 31, the last chapter after. But every other chapter, it's like Chapter 30, beginnings. And so when you say Chapter 31, the last chapter, it sounds like that's the title of the chapter.
Oh, okay.
Just like listening to it, that's what my brain hears every time.
They're preparing you.
They prepare me. They let me know
just
every
in case.
time.
Yeah.
So this last chapter, Chapter 31, is called After. And we get the wheel and snake, which this chapter symbol for this chapter pushed it above
the dragon symbol, yeah.
For the 5th time this
and book. Bumped it into first place for the series so far. Holy smokes.
Oh yeah, for the win.
That's why it's its own chapter.
That's why.
It must be.
The only reason.
Yep.
Okay.
Makes sense. Okay.
So we have a narrator perspective. It's rumor time. It's also full-blown winter, which makes sense considering we're going to move into a book called
Winter's Heart. Yeah, if you didn't know, it was supposed to be winter. And now it is winter.
And now it is.
Yep.
And it's winter.
It's really winter. Not the kind of winter where you can just like walk around naked.
No.
The kind of winter where you need clothes.
Okay, we get it.
Okay.
All right. Pigeons are being sent every which way and word is spreading about the events of the world going down. And it's a mess. It's in shambles.
Yeah.
As you can predict.
The world's on fire.
My world's on fire.
How about yours?
That's the way I like it, and I'll never get bored.
Okay, there we go. All right, so let's talk about the rumors.
Mm-hmm.
We got armies clashing at Tar Valon.
Whoa!
The rebels have stuck Elida's head on a pike.
Can't wait for that one.
Or maybe Elida is winning.
Nope.
Or maybe there's no rebels. And the Black Tower is broken.
That's the one I believe.
I don't even believe in the moon. I tell you what.
I also don't believe that the Ashermen are real.
They might be fighting each other, though, if they are real. And maybe the White Tower destroyed the Sun Palace in Kyrian.
Oh, yes, for sure that's what happened.
Yes, because...
The White Tower did that.
Yeah, because now the Dragon Reborn is bound to the Amyrlin seat. That's what's happening.
Okay.
But also maybe the exact opposite of that is true, too.
Of course.
So I like it.
Yeah.
Pretty clear on exactly what's happening here.
We got it.
Yeah. And then the number 2 thing is that Archer Hawkwing's armies have definitely returned.
Oh, for sure.
The Shanshan are sweeping across the land and winning.
For sure, yes. Yep.
And they even pushed the Dragon Reborn out of Altara.
But wait.
Maybe actually that didn't happen, and then they're serving the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, okay.
Interesting, okay.
But wait.
That's Massima's plan, right?
It is.
Maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Maybe the Dragon Reborn pushed the Shanshan back into the sea.
And destroyed their armies completely.
He won. He did it.
He did it.
Good job, everybody. We can go home now.
Yep.
Or maybe they brought him across the ocean to kneel before the Empress.
Well, that is part of their prophecy.
But this is my favorite. Turns out he's just dead.
The Dragonborn's dead.
We did it, guys. We won. Or maybe we didn't.
Or we lost.
But
Yes.
he's definitely maybe dead.
Okay. And there's lots of celebrations and mournings all at once.
Okay, love it. Let's go. Let's do this.
That's it. The end.
The end.
Book 8 of The Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We did it, finally.
We did it.
Yeah.
This was a bit of a whirlwind book for me. These last 2 months have been a bit rocky, a bit of a whirlwind. We've had so much going on.
Yeah.
So much. And so every time that we get to sit down and do this, it's so nice because this time is carved out for us to sit down and chat together, and we always get it done, and it's very nice. But then as soon as it stops, I move on and go do the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You know, work my full-time job, working on my thesis, doing my master's, raising our 2 children under 4.
Yeah.
You know,
trying to play soccer.
Oh, yeah, also trying to, play soccer recreationally. Like, there's all these things that I'm doing, but then you're also working a full-time job, also raising children. We have so many things going on. But for me specifically, going off, as soon as we kind of shut off recording and I get an episode out, I, move on. And I haven't been as reflective this book, I think, because of the amount that I've had going on.
That's fair.
And so it'll be really cool for us to sit down next time and do a book recap.
Yeah.
And review.
Pick out what actually happened
What
in
happened?
Book 8. Yeah.
What did I like? What did I get wrong? What did I get right? I did get some right.
It's going to be a lot of oh yeah, that happened, this book.
I got a lot wrong. A lot wrong.
Okay.
I think.
We'll have to
That's
dig
my
into
feeling about this book, is I really am having a hard time predicting things. But I guess that's the nature of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so like we said, next episode is going to be a publicly released book review and recap of Path of Daggers.
Yeah, we'll break it down.
And that's where I'll get to predict what's coming up.
Yeah, Winter's Heart. And now I do want to say, Winter's Heart, it is a good book. There is a lot of, juicy, great stuff happening. So, I'm excited to read this one.
Yeah. The setup is good.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's not super long, but it's physically it's a big book.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I got to look at the details,
but
it's
you said there's less chapters, though.
It might be like a Lord of Chaos situation where it's a big book, or Fires of Heaven was physically big.
Oh, okay.
So it might be one of those ones, but it only has Winter's Heart only has 35 chapters or so.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see. We'll dig into it. We'll make a plan. Yeah, it'll be good. So
coming up. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to think really hard about my rating for this book. Where does it fall amongst the rest of the books at this point? Because we know my ratings waver and change from recording to recording.
Moment to moment.
But right now, let's see. Let's see where I'm feeling. Okay, so before you go ahead and finish the Path of Daggers, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Well, that's the end of another fun episode. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett, with Essen, Passion Socks, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jamie Young, Cody Fouts, Megan Smiley, Jonathan Reese, Margaret, and Charlie Haz, with music by Audionautics. If you are interested in supporting us and the podcast, and also getting some really cool exclusive merch and access to early episodes and bonus episodes, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and us, like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, how to get in touch with us, things like that, for all things The Wheel Weaves, you can go to thewheelweavespodcast.com. Please be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference. And tell a friend about us because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening because this really is part of the pattern now.